Hi, how are you?
You're free?
Yeah, I'm free.
Come, can we interview you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Definitely.
let's go.
How can I assist you?
Doctor, we're always curious how you look like when you are 140 kilos.
Oh, I was quite big, you know. It took me 8 months for me to slim down from 140 to 93 kilo.
Doctor, another question that we always want to ask you. Ground school is always the most boring part. And how we are able to make it exciting and we are able to pass it so that we can fly.
Oh, no worry. I got some tips that I can share with you. Hi, my name is Dr. Muhammad Fahmi and I am from Aeronautical Training Academy. So in this video session, I will explain to you or give you tips on how to score a subject called aircraft general knowledge. When you decide to enroll in any professional piloting or commercial piloting course, you need to pass around 14 theoretical examination papers. And among those papers, there are one subjects or one papers that students have difficulties in scoring it. And these papers is called aircraft general knowledge. What I'm going to do today is actually to explain to you and give you tips on how to score. And the reason being is that this paper consists of 3 major subjects. Alright, come, let's go. So, the 3 subjects that I mentioned just now is, you see here, you need to study electric and electronics. Can you see how thick it is? And then, not only that, you have to also understand power plants, which is quite thick as well. And one more is the airframe and system. And because of that, in order for you to score the AGK or Aircraft General Knowledge paper, you need to actually score all these 3 subjects as well. You see, the 3 books are quite thick, but don't worry, in AATA, we're not going to use this book. iPad? Alright, so in AATA, we are going to use electronic books. It's going to be very light and easy for you to access anywhere you are. First, what you need to do is actually to be very good and master your lesson plan. I think lesson plan is actually a document where we are going to give you all information regarding what subtopics are we going to teach you for every hour of the class. So by knowing what is it inside the lesson plan, you should be able to prepare yourself even before you go to class. Now, secondly, again, once you know your lesson plan, what I want you to do next is to do a pre-study. Make sure you study first before you go to class. This is very important because once you do that, your mind will actually be comfortable in what you are going to learn. So any difficulties that you can face, right, you are going to face, you will be asking your instructor when the instructor is teaching you in class. Well, I think the third tips that I can give to you is actually make sure that you understand the teaching or you understand the discussion when you are at class. Never leave the class without understanding all of the subjects that you have learned. And the reason is that some of my students have difficulties because you are required to study twice. First time you study, you need to understand yourself, and second time of the study is for you to strengthen your knowledge. Now, one more thing that you can do is that don't just refer to one particular source. Don't just rely to your lecturer's notebook. What you require also is to look elsewhere. You can always use the internet, right? There's a lot of, in YouTube channel, a lot of materials that can use. Some of the pilots nowadays, they have a lot of what we call a YouTube channel where they discuss a lot of things that can make you understand as well. Okay, one more thing that you can do is actually, I want you to subscribe into what we call an online examination data bank. There are quite few that are quite famous, which are, for example, an aviation examination.com, or you can also subscribe to ATP LGS. You know, inside that, there are around 15,000 questions that have been used by EASA in order to give you assessment. Please understand, you need to understand the subject first and use this online data bank for you to strengthen your knowledge. Well, I think the next tips that I can give you is actually you need to study the question banks that you have already subscribed. The reason being is that you know you are going to have around 50 subtopics comprising of the 3 subjects that I've mentioned earlier. So there will be some subjects that in question banks, there's a lot of questions that come out. So by studying the questions, you should be able to know which subtopics is most likely to have a lot of questions rather than the other topics. And then next, I would also suggest to you that please organize your study. It's important that you not only will be learning these subjects, but there are also other subjects as well in your early phase of your study. So make sure you plan so that you know what you study today, your plan for a week, so what you are going to study and what you are going to achieve in 1 week. Next, I think I would also suggest for you to don't study alone. Please use your friends, study together. There's a lot of my students that are doing study group. You know, some of your friends may be good in some subtopics and you may be good in subtopics. So share information so that both of you can score the subjects. I think one more important is that always be consistent in your study. Please don't study last minute. You know why? Because it is very stressful if you study last minute. Don't do that. I think last and foremost is that stay healthy. You need to do a lot of exercise and also eat right. So you don't want to get sick. So you don't have time to study. Alright? Stay healthy and stay fit. I'll see you in the next video session.